We're going on to the next paragraph on the foreword to the first edition. It is important that we remain anonymous because we are too few at present to handle the overwhelming number of personal appeals which may result from this publication. Now, just stop for a second here. We're too few at present. What does that have to do with anonymity? See, it's unbelievable. We're not talking about confidentiality here. Confidentiality is a personal matter. If you want to be confidential, it has nothing to do, that's your own privilege or not. We're not talking about that. We're talking about being anonymous for another reason here, and which we'll go into. Being mostly business or professional folk, we could not well carry on our occupations in such an event. Why? Because we'd be overwhelmed with hundreds or thousands of newcomers. Like, please help me, help me. How could you have a career? How could you work? How could you support your family? How could you do anything? Right? It would be a very difficult thing to turn people away. We would like it understood that our alcoholic work is an avocation. Let's then end there. So let's understand this. First of all, anonymity is a spiritual foundation, as it says, of the traditions, the 12 traditions, which we're going to go into later on. You see, it's principles over personalities. It's not human opinion. It's not a guru. It's not, I believe this. This is so powerful, right? It has nothing to do with human. It's principle. It's absolute truth over the individual personalities. We're representing principles, nothing to do with ourselves. It's not about me. It's about the principle. That's anonymity. Anonymity means it's nothing to do with me. I'm nothing. It's the truth. It's the work that has to be done. Avodas Hashem. What is the work? What is the truth? We have to get out of the way. Right? We even don't carry the message. The message gets carried in spite of ourselves sometimes. So, what we're saying is as follows. We must realize that this is not a numbers game. And what has happened is what they're afraid would happen in the future. That too many people will come into the group of people who will have the message of recovery, and they will inundate the group, water down the message. There'll be too many people coming in that we cannot control the giving of the message correctly. So, and that's what's happened with all the rehabs today. Druggy buggy, they inundate for decades already. There was no control. It's almost like a cell wall, like the cell membrane, controls certain things that come in and out of the cell, otherwise it'll kill the cell. That's what happened. The groups got killed by external ideas that came in the group. The group was no longer able to maintain the unity of the message. It got watered down and destroyed. And now it's become just a self-help group in most places. There's no original AA message of this truth that we're talking about now. This is what they knew could happen, so they're saying as follows. We're professional people. We have lives. I can only handle so many people because the quality must be maintained. We know there's a Megefa out there, but we have to make sure that the message is pure, it's unchanged, that we're carrying. So maybe one person could carry the message to 3 or 4 people in a full year's period. You can't do more than that, because if you take 10, you're going to be inundated. It gets water, it's just too much, right? We have to maintain the group, the spirit, the message must be maintained. That is why we are too few at present to handle it. That's why we have to remain anonymous. Now, interesting to this, we're going to see later on, it says that we actually want to have a connection with people that are building groups in other places. Those people we want to connect to. So we're going to go on to that in the next clip.